Alright guys, so I've been wanting to put out a video about the NHL 20 beta. I just wanted to play it enough to where I felt like I really knew what I liked and what I don't like. So right off the bat, the presentation is much different this year. I've got to say I love the play of the period and the play of the game replays. These are really fun. Everyone seems like they really like this. I even think it's more fun when no one scores a goal and you get that highlight reel hit at the end of the period. It just looks really cool. The new intros, and I could take or leave, they're kind of funny. Has a very Fortnite or like Overwatch feel to it. I don't really have an issue with that. But there are some things with the presentation that I gotta say I really don't like. For the most part, the presentation is kind of a non-factor to me, but when it starts affecting the actual gameplay, that's when I take issue. So the new scoreboard down at the bottom of the screen, I think it looks okay, but there are times, on the power play where it just looks too busy, and on icings you can't really see the puck when it's down behind your net. Also, the shadows and drop-in, as cool as it looks, and it reminds you that, oh, we're outdoors, we don't need a giant shadow of trees taking up half the ice. It's just not necessary. And also, in EASHL, whenever you get a penalty shot, the camera for the goaltenders starts focused on the skater and you're not even on the screen. I think that's a really awful decision. But anyway, on to what really matters, the gameplay. The big selling point this year was the new shooting animations. So when you catch that puck on a pass from your backhand side, you pick the puck up and can shoot it from that position much cleaner. I really like that. I will say there are a bunch of shooting animations that are new and that definitely look goofy and don't look realistic. But when it comes to realism versus just fun gameplay, I'll take fun gameplay every time, so I don't really have an issue with that. I think it makes the game and the gameplay better. Although the shooting was the main selling point this year, one of the biggest things I noticed were puck interceptions. So when you're playing defense in 19, you pretty much have to be facing the puck to intercept the pass, and you have to be positioned kind of at the end point of the pass to pick it off. In this game, you don't have to be facing the puck, you don't really have to be squared up to it, which is probably more realistic. Your head can turn, and even if you're not facing the puck, you can still turn and look and pick off a pass. It happens all the time in real life. But I did kind of prefer it in 19 because it made playing defense a little more skill-based. The skating I love in this game. So I feel like you can't reach that top speed as quickly as you could in 19, but you can straight line and pick up speed and burn defensemen. Also, L2ing, while it's been nerfed, I've heard some people say it's like a non-factor or just is useless in this game. And when people say that, I feel like they're playing a totally different beta than me. L2ing is still very useful in this game. It's just been nerfed a little bit. So when you press L2, it's going to take you a little bit more time to get back up and going. And this goes for when you don't have the puck and you're back skating on defense. So all these factors make it so you can burn defensemen in a straight line and get those breakaways. So I think you're going to see a lot more of that this year. Also, in general, I think goalies have been nerfed a bit. And hear me out, but I think this is a good thing. It's probably been since NHL 17 since legitimate sniping was a thing. Against computer goalies in 19, you pretty much only had the across-the-body snipe, and you couldn't really snipe short side or glove side. Now, against computers and humans, if they give you that space, you can score just about anywhere. I also notice more goals seem to squeak through the 5-hole. Deking seems like it's a little more consistent this year. Stick lifts, poke checks seem slightly more balanced. The hitting is something that I really am not a fan of this year. There's times where I'll line up a guy in my corner playing defense and hit him head on full speed and nothing will happen. So I would like to see the hitting get a little bit of a buff. Other than that, I think puck pickups took a big step back. When the other team has the puck and they're making a pass, you're like a god at picking it up. But when your team is passing to you or you're trying to pick up a loose puck, too often I find you just aren't able to pick the puck up. Also, a small thing, but when I go to dump the puck with R1 and the right stick, every once in a while, for absolutely no reason, you'll fan on it. And I think that's a terrible gameplay mechanic. I hope they fix that. A small thing that I've seen some people like, some people don't, is the rebounds that goalies kick out of play very often on the blocker side now. I don't know, call me crazy, but I don't want more pucks or play stoppages in EASHL. These games last long enough, and that's just another thing that makes the game even longer. And to be honest, I haven't found that rebounds that kick off the goalie and go in the net are any less common this year. It still happens all the time. So I don't like that. Overall, I gotta say, I think I like the gameplay of 19 a little better. 20 is definitely smoother, the skating's a little better, the shooting's definitely better, but just playing defense, the way you pick off passes, passing in general, and the hitting, I like all that stuff better in 19. Maybe, you know, I'll warm up to 20 a little more. I've definitely liked it the more I've played it, but you know, the biggest problem with 19 wasn't the gameplay, it was just getting into games, and aside from 1 or 2 times, I got into every game in the beta. So, I mean, we'll see what the final game is like, but regardless, I'll see you guys in NHL 20, and I'll have some more 19 videos coming shortly. Thank you.